stuck in the rock, first time ever. I'm angry.
Our
anchor's holding, but we've swung really close to the end of the jetty.
What a day.
Look at all the things we've done. We've circled around to sideswipe a jetty.
Yeah.
We've anchored in 1,000 feet. We played
Hopscotch with the coral.
Belize is another joke. You have to be really careful. I'm Zaya. I come from Mongolia and we have been sailing across the Atlantic Ocean and around the Caribbean for the last 5 years.
And I'm Stuart and I'm passionate about sailing and teaching sailing. And just recently our cruise expanded with the arrival of this little guy, Leo.
I'm Arjun and I recently joined the Luckyfish crew on board for the long term and I'm so excited to learn all about sailing!
In this two-part story, I'm sharing my biggest fail yet. It's embarrassing for me, but these are the realities of cruising, especially when you drop your guard. It all began with a bad omen. We were aground on the dock before we even got started. So now I'm just digging all the silt out from this side of the keel, just bowling it out. I'll show you the stuff. Ugh. And I can feel the bottom of the keel as I'm working along. Lovely stuff. And I'm just tipping it into the channel because it's quite a steep slope. The keel's only buried about that much, so it should have pulled straight out yesterday. Obviously we're up against that submarine cable. I can feel it right on the back edge of the keel.
Oh, okay.
So thankfully we didn't do any damage to it, but bloody hell.
Nothing happening. The neighbor coming to help us. How about if we're stuck here forever, honey? What are you going to do?
There's no such thing as forever. Alright, here we go. So we'll just give it some of ours. What's going on with you?
What are you doing?
I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm tying the boat up.
Any solution? Are we going to sail today?
Not today, tomorrow. The next tide is slightly higher by a couple of centimetres, that's all. But I think we'll get the neighbour's powerboat set up with a bridle so he's pulling more in a clear direction rather than spinning around. We'll give it a go anyway. But we
40 horsepower?
140 horse. Yeah, it's pretty serious.
Wow.
So I don't think it's going to take a lot of force on the back of the boat sideways to pull the back out, and then we can just reverse out of the dock. A kind neighbour offered us the use of their dock, but it too was very shallow.
So today is a brand new day. It is Friday morning and we are currently moving right off the dock. Our new co-owner Tim is steering the motor.
Yeah, I'm going right as far as I can.
We are trying to get off the mud. We're nearly off the mud here. We're just going to watch this dock here. We've got both engines fairly well flat out.
Yeah, we might be going over something.
Stuck in the mud as usual.
Now at this point you're probably wondering what the heck we're doing. Well, with our 3'2" draft, we're just able to navigate this skinny canal on the southern tip of the peninsula. Placencia is a quite unique 19-mile narrow spit of sand, dried coral and mangroves. The village is right at the southern tip, where we had managed to wriggle into one of the many canals. Tying up is another matter though, as some of the areas haven't been dredged for a while. We're about to get off, thinking positive.
We're moving.
I gotta add some weight right over here. Adding some weight.
Good, you're not touching. Fender's good job.
Oh yeah, give the man a beer.
Wow.
You're not going to see that every day.
I wasn't going to slow up for you, mate.
Today we are going sailing. It's Friday. We are going to Glover's Atoll and it'll take us 2 nights to get there. We are planning a night Anchorage to get there. Hopefully the weather will be nice. Right now it is actually a little bit gloomy, but as most of you guys know, I love gloomy weather.
Yeah, we're going to do an overnight stop at a place called Pelican Keys. It's about 15 miles out. We've left very late. We had quite a few administrative tasks to take care of this morning. But all's well, and we've got a wind of about 5 knots true off our port bow. We're going to set up the foresail and the genoa and motor sail hard on the wind on a long leg that'll just about take us to our destination, maybe with a short tack at the end. Let's see. Tim's first hoist of the foresail. We've got a, look at that, we've got a, you know, a luff tensioning line there, sorry, a leech tensioner hooked over the gaff. That's a first. That is a first. Okay, good. Take 2. Maybe still a bit high on the green. Yeah, drop it down. Below horizontal is good too.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, good. Nice. Yeah, there you go. Big hard one, and then get a turn on the winch. You got it. That's good enough. And I would just, you know, lock it off as soon as you can. Then winch up the luff, the black one, to get some tension on that luff.
came pretty easily up to this little area, and once we get here it all starts to get a little bit more tricky because we have coral heads and we have a big sandbar that's beneath us. We had to sneak across with just a little bit of water under the keel, but enough. And now we're just finding our way into the Anchorage, which is off sort of on the port bow, and we need to find an area where it's shallow enough that we can get an anchor to attach, and where we get the protection that we want from these winds, which are coming in now sort of from the northwest. So I think it's going to be fine. It looks like that catamaran that's parked up ahead of us, showing us the way, that they've found a nice calm anchorage. I see 2 masts now actually, so 3. Look at, there's a whole gang of people who've already got this.
Perhaps behind me you can see the catamarans moored in the lagoon. It's a really interesting atoll in itself with the several coral keys poking up with mangroves sitting on top. They're in about 60 feet of water, about 20 meters. These coral pillars rise up from the bottom. So we're about to drop our anchor, it looks like, in one of the deeper anchorages that we've been in. Normally we're used to nudging up against sandy beaches and getting in very close, but here it's either you're in the mangroves or you're anchoring in 60 feet of water.
I actually got my first seasickness a little bit. I wasn't feeling really well, so I went down to the cabin and tried napping for a bit. I don't know why, I just felt like a little bit of a hangover-ish. And then soon after, Zaya just came in to the cabin and she's also not feeling that well. She's actually still sleeping right now. And baby Leo is just being such a sailor. Two sailors baby, checking out everything from ropes to little nods, right? Anyways, it was good. I liked it because the weather was a little gloomy and it was not too hot. It was good for the skin, but I felt seasick towards the middle and I was just kind of sleeping in the cabin, and I think that kind of like rocked me up even more. But I was just trying to stay calm, look far ahead and just take deep breaths, and that helped me a lot. So
Leo crying didn't help.
oh yeah, Leo was crying once in a while and I was just like, Leo, I'm gonna vomit on you if you don't stop crying.
That's exactly what I thought. Oh my god. How did we come in?
We came in over a shallow bit just down there. It's rather nice. What do we do?
Hello, Will.
That's what it was like a few years ago before Leo came along.
Bonding.
And now there's post.
Tim came.
Now there's post Leo.
Tim came looking after Leo and there's some bonding time.
The bonding time's all over, you missed it.
Well, the weather is amazing. It is very gloomy, but the clouds look so beautiful. Like, as you can see in the background, it's just so majestic. The colors are so contrasting, but the sky is also very soft at the same time. And as you can see, the ocean behind me, it's just this really nice, soft and balanced blue, and I just love it. So beautiful.
You like it, Leo?
Alright, we are testing our lights. We are trying to come up with a mood for tonight. Tim, what's your mood for tonight? The color?
Well, I think it needs to be dimmed down a little bit.
Dimmed
it's
down?
A little bit exciting for me.
Okay. Zaya?
Yeah, that yellow one was nice.
Yellow one.
Leo
Stu?
seems to.
Well, I thought the red held some promise.
I'm down
there
with
we
the
go. Look.
yellow.
Good morning everyone, and here we are in the beautiful anchorage of Pelican Keys. We're inside a lagoon surrounded by several keys. It's about 20 metres deep, this water. I'm so glad we took the time out to anchor well, set the anchor well last night, because we had a very rough night. Wasn't forecasted, but we had winds up to 25 knots. We had all of our chain out and we had all of our rope rowed out, so 100 metres gone. And anyway, the anchor stuck. Our rolling hitch on the rope rowed held well. We've got a nice loose anchor road and a very tight bridle rod at the moment, and we have stayed put all night just inscribing an arc around where the anchor sits. You need a bit of a confidence builder on your first night out, and that was a good one. But one thing it's taught us is that the weather forecasting around Belize is really dodgy. We left with a forecast for sort of 5 to 8 knots for the next 3 days, with the wind sort of clocking from northwest round to east, and it would have been perfect for us to get out to Glover's Atoll. But right now there's a bit of doubt surrounding whether we're going to be able to get there. We're going to try and get a weather forecast today and make our plans from there. Leo looks ready to start the day.
Hello.
How was your night? G'day, Leo.
That's good.
It's really, that's marvellous.
How did you guys think?
We were fine. We were watching the weather all night and just making sure that the anchor was sticking, which it did. It was really good. Look at you, little fella. Hello. I hope Tim slept okay. I'm sure he's fine in Toy's cabin. Join us next week for part 2 of the story, when we find out just how quickly things can go wrong navigating the reefs of Belize.
If you liked our video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel, and as always, a huge thanks to our patrons for making these videos possible. If you'd like to support us, we hope you consider becoming a patron and help us continue sharing our journey.